Hi, Internet viewers, Frank Rauscher again. We completed the tail. We did the top side, we did the underneath side, we got the rump in shape, and now what we're going to proceed on is the back of the head, and then we're going to move to the breast area coming down. So we're going to be marking that out, and we'll start to get almost as complete as far as some of the detailing that needs to be brought out. So if you can hang in there with me, we're going to take you on and see if we can't get a little further on here, and we're starting to pull this together. So appreciate you guys hanging in there with me, and hope that everybody's enjoying what we've done so far. And we'll see if we can't, as I said before, see if we can't get this out of fly. So bear with me. We'll move on, and then we'll go from there. Okay. We've got the detailing of some of the head feathers. So I'm going to come in here and elaborate a little bit more, because some of these are fading from being handled. So I'm going to come in and make these C's again. And remember I was saying before, there's direction to these. I'm just going to put like lines in just so that you have an idea. This is not to be part of what we're trying to show as much as direction. We have like flow lines for the C's, and the C's should be aiming towards those directions. And when we get over here, we're coming out this way and this way, and then we come down. So if you follow those lines of direction, like they'll start flowing out of here. Now here, they'll sort of come straight. These will slope a little bit. And of course, these are going to go this way. Okay, if you have directions, okay? And then once you get into here, they're usually following a straight line coming down as far as C's go. But let me just come in. I'm going to highlight some of these again because they're really fading out. So, and there's the other thing too. I want to go back and mention. These are smaller, and as you come back on the head, it gets a little larger, and we get to this size here, okay? And that's about what I'll try to maintain. Once I get over that crest, we're keeping about the same size. So I'm going to come in here and make a C, and I'm mainly aiming towards the middle here. Now, where you have a shoulder in here, and you can't get the whole feather in because it's got to be under the wing area here, you just act as if you got a partial feather right here. It's like it butts up to here and it butts up to there, and then you do the same thing right here. Here's another one where the shoulder is right here, so all you're going to do is give the illusion that you have a full C, but it's under the shoulder. Then down here, going about that size. I'm going to do this one here because it's really fading. That's just from handling, because we did this early, and the more you work with the piece and you're holding it, your hands pick up a lot of the lead that was there, and you don't want to, you lose your feather lines. Okay, so I'm going to come back and just enhance a couple of these. Now as I come down, I'm going to spread these out a little bit more, not get too big though. And then when I get about to the middle here, I'm going to go smaller, but not real small, and I'll show you. Over here, like I said, we're radiating out this way, coming straight down here. then radiating out this way. So I'm going to come in and do some feathering where I sort of piggyback off of this one. I'll come in like this one. I don't want to get too big around this area. I'm pretty good size there, but I'm going to make a couple of smaller ones right in here. And you could even make these a little smaller, but they're okay. They'll work. Then I'm going to swing one down, almost touching the shoulder, just to fill that area in. Then I'll come in and act like one goes under the wing and comes up. And then I'm going to fill this space out with one feather right in here. Okay. Now, let's see. These are pretty good in here. You can actually see most of them. At least I hope you guys can see most of these. Then I'm going to come back. And what I'm going to do is work like at the top of the C's. I'm going to like come off of that a little bit. And I'm going to swing this one around so it pops right in there like that. Then I'll come over here. I'll do about a medium-sized C. And I'm trying to aim the C that way. That's why I got these lines in here. Sort of trying to go with the lines. Just it doesn't matter too much, but I'm trying to give you some direction the way the feathers may lay, okay? And I think it really adds to the carving itself. So and then I'm not going to do everything real large. You can see this is a pretty good size feather right in here. It goes from here to here, but I'm not making every one of them that deep. I'm going to come in here, and then as I move down, I may elongate them a little bit more. And I try not to get into a pattern where I go loop to loop to loop. You want to go in and try to break it up a little bit as you go, okay? So, and then I'm not going to go so large all the time, but I'm going to have some decent ones in here. And I'll plop one in here like that. Then I'll get a good size one right in there. And then I'll put a medium-sized one in here. Now, over in here where the wing is again, I'll come down, come around. Then, because I have a feather, I don't know if you can see this, I'm going to highlight it again, which goes here to here, and then there's like a feather that sneaks in here, which is sort of partially under the wing. I'm going to do another partial right here, and say that goes under the wing too, okay? Then I'll just skirt the wing here and put one of them in. And you can vary the sizes a little bit, but the general approach is smaller and then larger to here. And then we've reversed that. But I don't want to get too small. Never real small in these. These feathers are, when we go to pattern them, to put the markings on it, they're kind of substantial as far as the markings. Didn't do that one. Oh, the other thing I wanted to say, even before you start this, you want to sand this out. Either hand sand it or use some of the sanders I had here. You know, I have the cloth bound ones like this. I also have these available. I have the Swiss made paper. I also have the rotary ones like this. And you can come in, especially on motorized ones, you want to run it at half speed or these will blow away, okay? Or they'll fall apart. So, but the hand sanding, you definitely could do that at the speed you want to do, with your hand, that is. Now, I'm coming down here. I'm sort of aiming this up straight, and that just hugs the wing. Then I'll come in here and get a good size one. Let me bring this around and join up to that one. Then I'm going to come in with some pretty good sized ones running along this wing. I wanted these to be a little showy, and I'll show you what I mean. I'm going to make some a little bigger than average, and then I go to a medium-sized one, and I'm not giving you measurements on this because I want you to sort of look at the video and when you create yours to, don't be so fixated on what I'm doing, but try to mimic what as closely as you can get. Okay, I hope your video is really showing you a good amount of what I'm doing here. And I hope I'm in camera range too. That's another one. So I have a good size feather in here, so I'm going to do another one right along here like that. Then I'll put another one right here. And I'm trying to go from high point to high point on the C's, but that doesn't always have to be, okay? I'm just filling in space. And you get to practice what I call the C's, and you can see it's a slow build-up, but right about where I'm at now, I'm going to reverse myself shortly, but I still have a few to finish up here. So I'm going to take one and cheat and run right along the wing, then come up. Then I'll get another one right here. Now, as I come down this wing, I want to get a substantial size one. So I put that in. Then I'll fill this in. So I'll come in here. Yeah, boy. Not steady with the pencil here. I come up around, and these are pretty good size. Then I'll come back into the middle here. And I'll put like a medium-sized one. Then what I'm going to do, I'm going to try to keep this size right in here, like for the next one as well. I'm going to come out like this and get that started. So this has got some length, just like that one. Then I'll fill a partial in here. Let me just come around here. I'm going to get this C around here. And this one butts up to there. And then we'll fill in this area. Okay. I'm going to try to get a little smaller as we come down, except for maybe one more down here. I'm going to get this one kind of lengthy, but not real. It's, if I had to give you a measurement just for the sake of it, between this and this on millimeters, I'm doing about maybe from 12 to 15 millimeters in length, okay? And then you can also break, boy, I'm coming from an angle with my pencil and it's marking things that I didn't want. So I'm going to come in and make a short one in there. Then I'm going to come over here. I'm going to put one out here like this. Then I'm going to make a pretty good size one over here as I'm coming down. Then I'm going to come in and put a medium-sized C. Same way here. And then here. These are pretty big, but that's okay. That'll work. Come around here. Then I'm going to go into a smaller C, and I'll get a small one over here. When we say small, they're really not that small. I'm going to do medium-sized C right in here. And then I'm going to put one more big one right along here. So I have, these are like showy. And that's what I want to do. I want to try to, when we go to put markings in there, I want to have a pretty good size feather so that we can do some markings that show up really nice on this breast area. This is a good size one here, but I'm filling in an area here. And then there's a smaller one. Then I'll get a smaller one. And then in here, I'll come to the middle here. Then I'll get a one that's about average on the small side though. And then I'll come in here, put what I consider smaller than average, and then C's, and I'm cruising my way down. And I'll put one right here. Then I'll get one from here and come across. Then I'll get a small one in there. I'll get a small one in here. Put that in there. You can see I'm getting smaller as I come down. And that's what I'm trying to do. So, and it takes a little practice on this. And like I said, you never want to just go, let me show you. I don't want to do this, if you can possibly help it, where you got a C and then a C. You don't want to get ring around the rosy, what I call it. You want to break it up. So you do a C here and then piggyback off of that one, okay? And then you do one here and say you come off of this one. And then you come off of the high points on these. And you don't have this loop-to-loop-to-loop, and that's what we don't have here. It's actually broken up and staggered, and that's why I do. I do want to get some of the bigger feathers in there because it is a showier type feathering that goes on in the breast area. So when we go to create the painting of this, same way here, you can see these are pretty good sized feathers in comparison to some of the smaller ones that we get back in here. And of course, these don't show the detail like maybe these will. Okay, so we're almost done on the breast area here. So I'm going to come in here, swing around. I'm going to get at the bottom of that one and come up. And I'm going to get a small one there. They're not real small, but they're not tiny like the beginning up here. They're not that small. And what we do is we're filling in these areas just like this. Okay, so that looks pretty good there. So let me, the other thing I wanted you to do too, I said we finalized the tail, which we did, but the primaries here, if you would either get a flame tip ruby, or this happens to be a bullet shaped diamond. And what I want you to do is thin this out under here, but not real thin, and flatten the bottom of these. You're coming in, and you don't want to bang into your burning. And do the same thing and be careful. And if you do bang into it, you can always go back and touch it up again. And I want you to come in here and get them flat. And then when you're done, get a piece of your sandpaper and make sure you're not banging into this, into the burn, and clean these out, okay? Because once I start, we're going to lift some of these. We're going to burn just some of these. And we're also going to put some detailing on those feathers on the underneath side there, okay, on the primaries, which is this last grouping right here. So on the next video, we'll do all that. I just wanted you to get the detail of the feathering on the back of the head, right on down through the breast. And then I'll show you exactly what some of these will just be burned out like these. Some will be lifted, and I'm trying to make them showy looking, okay? We're actually exaggerating a little bit because, like I said, the bird's feathers are so soft and they lay together. There is no separation, but we do because it enhances the look of the bird, and I think it makes it more appealing. So that's what I do. So I hope you got something out of this video too, and we're really starting to get close now as far as getting most of the detailing done. And I think after we get all this done, then we'll probably go set the eyes in, and I'll show you how to do all that good stuff. And we definitely want to get the primaries done here too. So we're getting pretty complete. So practice the C's and see how they go for you. Even if you got to do it on paper, just like I'm doing here, you can. Don't do this loop to loop to loop, you know, where you come like this, you know, and go from one to the other. Do a C by itself, then come off and piggyback off of that one. And they don't all have to be the same. And like I said, you can get a small one in sometime, and then break it up a little bit, and then of course, like along the wing here and over here, I elongate them. I come down and make a good size one, because what we're going to do is we got all kinds of pattern stuff coming off of this, and I don't want them too small, because it defeats the purpose of trying to show the detail that goes on to the breast feathers. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed this one as well. I'll see you on the next video, and if you enjoyed this, please give me a thumbs up. If you can subscribe to my channel, I'd appreciate that greatly too. If you have a friend or somebody, if you can recommend my channel, that would be helpful as well. I'm trying to grow the channel as much as I can. And if anybody needs anything, I have patterns. I have all the equipment that I use. I sell the bits as well, kits for the owl or any of the other birds I've done, like the cardinal, the wren, and so on. You can get me if you write to me. I'll give you my email address, which is Rauscher, R-A-U-S-C-H-E-R, Frank, F-R-A-N-K, 7 @gmail.com. And you can also comment in the comments section of the video, and I can get that too. As long as you give me your email, I'll contact you, and I can send you a catalog out, or we could talk, and I'll advise you for what you need and what you don't need, because you don't always need to get everything. A lot of times, if you have like a Dremel or something like that, you can utilize that. That's fine. I have these micro grinders, which is RAM ones that I like a lot, and they're reasonably priced, but they're a step up from the Dremel. So if you need any of these items, I will recommend them to you, but they're not cheap. Not that they're real expensive, but it just depends on how you want to grow the hobby. If you're really interested and really want to get into it, the power carving on this end is great. Now, a Fortum unit is also good for taking material down, and you can do that with these micro grinders too, but you can beat them up a little bit. You can do some hogging, which you see me do here with these, but some of the times with some of the things like bigger birds and stuff like that, you really want to use the Fortum, okay, first. But it's all in how you want to attack it, okay? And the same way with burning units, I carry them. And you see me with the burning pens here. I like the Optima unit, and I also like the pens that are available too. And I have them available if anybody needs those, okay? So I'll see you on the next video, and I hope you enjoyed what you saw. And you have a good one.